Hey guys, it's me, Dana, and it's that time of year again. Everyone's back in school, Halloween is just around the corner, and the dark shadow of NaNoWriMo is hovering over us once again. Yes, that's right, National Novel Writing Month is right around the corner. It's in 7 days, and that time of year again, time to start planning. Some of you might be new to the scene, and some of you might be curious about, like, what does NaNoWriMo mean? What is National Novel Writing Month? What are you talking about? Well, National Novel Writing Month, or NaNoWriMo for short, is basically an event run by a charity organisation, I think. Basically, they promote people to write 50,000 words in 30 days. Basically, the length of what is officially classed as a novel. And if you win, you get some free stuff. And if you don't win, you tried. This will be my 4th year doing NaNoWriMo, and it will be the year I win, because I have not won for ever. And 50,000 words in a month when you have school and stuff is a lot harder than it sounds. This year I am aiming to finish a novel I've been working on for a while, but I'll obviously only be counting what I write during November in NaNoWriMo. And basically the novel's a fantasy, and it's about this girl called Gaia, a elf-princess called Gaia, and the first thing you see is her riding away from her birding city. And yeah, that's basically the minor concept of my novel, but I might do a full sort of synopsis video later on. I might even re-upload the book trailer I did recently to this channel, and I might do a few more videos talking about it. But you want to start NaNoWriMo. Right. Now, starting NaNoWriMo is easy. You just need an idea, right? But where do you get an idea from? Well, this depends on the kind of person you are. I'm inspired by visual things. For example, the novel I'm writing at the moment, which is currently 50,000 words or something like that. It's definitely over 50,000. It originally sparked from an picture, but you might not be that kind of person. You might listen to music and be inspired to write a story. You might hear someone say something and you think, oh, what did you just say? That's a great idea. I'm going to write a book about that. Or you might, really enjoy, I don't know, the Hunger Games, and you really like dystopian novels, so you want to write dystopian novels, but you don't know where to start, so you start, looking into the problems of, today's world, and see how those could be fixed in sort of dystopian society. You know, anything can really inspire you to get an idea, and once you've got an idea, it's great, because you've got an idea, but then it's getting the idea onto paper, and getting it on paper in 30 days, which is the hard thing. Planning is very important. Okay, I'm going to go on to, what to do during NaNoWriMo in a minute, but planning is so important. So once you have the idea, you need to plan. You can plan you have 7 days to plan, so I'd get a move on. You can obviously continue planning out through November, but you ideally have to be just writing in November, just writing. Now, I know some people don't really like planning. I'm not one to plan, usually. I don't like planning, because then I write stuff and it never goes the same, or I don't like an idea, so I don't write that, and then it goes off in a different tangent, which is the problem, especially during NaNoWriMo. But this year, I decided that I was going to plan using a software named Scrivener. Now, Scrivener is a software that you can actually download for free during NaNoWriMo. It's not a 30-day trial. It's a trial up until the 8th of December, and it's slightly complex. I remember downloading it last year and going, what the hell, and just abandoning it. But this year I watched a few videos, which I will also link in the box below, like Katie Tastic. She did a really good, her how to plan a novel video and how to use Scrivener videos are really good, and I'm linking those down below because those are the ones I watched, to be quite frank. And so I've planned my novel using Scrivener this year, and I've got you can create folders, and each folder is a chapter, and each of those folders has 3 scenes in it, and each of those scenes is like 4 or 5 bullet points, and then each of those scenes is 1,666 words. I'm doing inverted commas because obviously I can go over, I can go under. Well, I can't go under. Ideally, I go over. But say if I go over on, like, say scene 1 of chapter 11, I don't have to work as hard in scene 2 or maybe even scene 3, because, you know, you get writer's block, and that freaking sucks. And yeah, so plan. Get a chapter outline, get your characters, like, history and stuff sorted, because, like, seriously, reading back on my novel, I'm like, wait, I thought Oliti was, like, blonde, but now she's brown-haired, and oh wait, at one point she was ginger, and I'm like, well, that's gonna have to change at some point. So plan this weekend, plan on Halloween. Don't go out to that party you were meant to go to because you're a socially awkward person like me. Plan as much as you can, and once you planned, then comes NaNoWriMo. And NaNoWriMo starts at midnight on the 1st of November and ends at 23:59 on the 30th of November, basically. And that's when your writing starts. And that's when you have to just, you know, buckle down, write as much as you can, when you can. I'm going to give you a few tips on some things that might help you during NaNoWriMo to, you know, get focused and, like, keep writing. Because writer's block is the devil, and writer's block. If you're a writer, you know what I mean. Okay, so tip number 1. Sleep in NaNoWriMo, and generally in my life, because I'm a student at university, is near non-existent on some nights. And that's bound to happen when you're in the writing mood, because you're kind of like writing, you're like, yeah, it's only 10 o'clock, and then you kind of like look at the clock and suddenly it's 2 a.m. and you're like, what happened? What have I been doing for the last, like, 2 hours? I don't know, but not 2 hours, 4 hours. Maths, I can do it. Yeah, what have I been doing for the last 4 hours? Unless you've passed out, you've obviously been writing. So, there's a few tips on how to, you know, stay awake if you need to. For example, tea. Oh no, it's cold. Anyway, you'll have warm tea, unlike me, and that will keep you awake. Or coffee if you're not a tea person, or alternately energy drinks, but I don't like energy drinks. Anything with caffeine in it. I prefer tea because it has more caffeine in it than coffee. But if you want to get to sleep and you have a job the next day and you're like, oh shit, it's 1 a.m. and I'm not tired, then go out and buy yourself some chamomile tea or some licorice root tea. So that's like hint number 1. Caffeine. Now, also during NaNoWriMo, making food, like making a sandwich at midday is not a priority. No. Eating is a priority, obviously, but stepping away from the laptop to go make your sandwich, unless you have a slave in your kitchen. I hope you don't have a slave in your kitchen, because that's illegal. Stock up on snacks. So, crisps, sweeties, chocolates, cookies, like these ones, which I've eaten. Oops. Or some like chocolates, like these Maltesers, which I'm going to break into now. Stock up on snacks, basically. So you can just be like writing and be like, oh, I'm really hungry. Like go to your wherever you want to stash these snacks and be like, get a little crisps. And if you're more into like healthy stuff, then have some apples or raisins or celery or whatever healthy people eat for snacks. If you have tea, get some biscuits. So anything that's quick and easy to do. Buy ready meals if you can't really be bothered to cook in the evening. Buy chips that you can just shove in the oven and leave for 10 minutes while you write. Just remember they're in the oven. Don't set your house on fire. That's not advised. Listen to music, yes. Okay, if you like, listening to music can be a great way to sort of like stimulate the mind and stimulate ideas. Like when I'm writing Land of NaNoWriMo, that's the name of my novel, by the way, I really like to listen to fantasy music and music generally without words, and I just like to listen to it, and then, you know, because it's like fantasy, it like stimulates my fantasy side. Obviously if you want to listen to like pop music, like, or classical music, if you don't really want to listen to music, if you like ambience, there's a few sites that I'll probably link down below where you can go and like put on like rain, thunderstorms, or coffee shops. Coffee shops are scientifically proven, yeah, to stimulate creativity. So if you want to be really creative and you want to write, get some like sounds of a coffee shop and play it on in the background while you're writing, and I'm sure you'll do a lot better than if you didn't have that sound. Take notebooks with you everywhere you go, because you might be sat in lecture, whether that's English Lit to astrophysics. You might be sat in lecture or class, or you might be sat at your grandparents and you're not allowed to take your laptop, and you might be sat there and be like, I have an idea. Write it down in the notebook. Come back to it when you get home. Write that idea up. There's a few more 100 words. Speaking of words, word sprints, word wars, whatever you want to call them. They're basically little games that people sometimes run on Twitter, or on the NaNoWriMo forums, or, you know, chat sites, I don't know, where you have to write a certain amount, you have to write as much as you can in 20 minutes, and if you can write the most, you win superiority, you're awesome. And they're really good at getting like words down quickly, because you're just write, because you want to be the best, you want to write as much as you can, and they're really good for boosting word count. NaNoWriMo forums are also very good for NaNoWriMo, hence the NaNoWriMo forums. Because you can, if you don't, you don't really like your plot, or you don't have a plot, you can go and adopt one, you can adopt a character, you can like, I'm not sure if I should do this, you can go and ask people, you can go and look for inspiration. But number one tip is just write. Write until your fingers bleed. Don't really do that, because then you'll have to go to hospital and you won't be able to write. And then you won't finish NaNoWriMo, and then we will all be very sad. Just don't give up. And don't let your inner editor out. Writers, you probably know what I'm talking about. Perfectionists, you definitely know what I'm talking about. And everyone else, I'm about to explain to you what I mean by inner editor. Basically, if you don't like a line, leave it. If you want to change a character's name, leave it. Write down in your notebook or somewhere that you need to change this when you come back to revision. And I'm not talking about exams, I'm talking about revision of your novel. If you want to, you know, get it published like I do, then write it down somewhere, but don't go back and change it. Because otherwise you'll be logged down by editing and you won't be writing more, which is the aim of NaNoWriMo. That's it. That's it for now. I've linked my NaNoWriMo profile in the box below. I've linked Katie Tastic's video on NaNoWriMo, Little Book Owl's video on NaNoWriMo, and a few others. I've also linked Katie Tastic's Scrivener, how to outline in Scrivener, or how she outlines in Scrivener, in the box below. And I will see you soon with a book review on Looking for Alaska. So for now, goodbye and happy October!